Yeah, it stings bad. I think to lose a title on goal differences, especially as a defender, probably the best record in the league as well, is tough to take. We have to look in the mirror first of all before we look at anyone else, and what can you do better as an individual? What could the team do better? I thought we were so good last year in so many ways, but I think it's so exciting that we were that good, but I still think we can be so much better.
The official Manchester City podcast. Watch the full video version of this show via City Plus now.
Last action of the game is a Chloe Kelly corner. Oh, and a Greenwood header, that's in. Her first of the season. And Manchester City's climb to a 6-point lead at the top of the table.
Hello and welcome to the official Man City podcast. An unfamiliar face, an unfamiliar voice. My name is Liam Loftus and I am your host today. And today we are joined by Alex Greenwood and we're going to talk to her about her journey into football and what she's looking forward to this season. Alex, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to start from the beginning. You were at Everton from a very young age. Talk about your journey into football. Actually,
just playing on the street in Liverpool. I love street football. I grew up with a lot of boys in my life, playing at school. Playing on the street, I was quite a boisterous kid. I was always out and about and playing football as much as I could, really. Played in school, playtime. I planned the teams on the back of my school book. I've loved football since the day I could walk, to be honest with you. So for me, it was I just knew I loved the game, and whatever way I was going to be able to play it, I was going to play it. Obviously, fortunately, started at Everton really young age, and probably grew up there, became the person I am through Everton. I have a lot to thank them for, really, because I played there for such a long time and learned so many great things about me as a footballer, but also as a person as well.
It feels almost strange, like that yours was like the traditional route, like Centre of Excellence Academy through to your pro deal. When you were younger, did you just think like that's what everyone does?
Yeah, I think so. I think I didn't really know any different, so that was my route and that was the route I was going to do. I think, yeah, I went through Academy, Centre of Excellence, and then, fortunately again, I signed me pro quite young. Got to experience Champions League at like 15, which is crazy. It doesn't really happen anymore, and again, like I said, really fortunate for all them moments because it's made me who I am today. Making
your debut so young, what was that like? Like, was that a bit like, was it mind blowing, or was it just another day for you? Like, did you take it in your stride?
I think because I'd trained with the first team quite a bit anyway. The girls were great as well. Obviously, I trained with like Farrah Williams, Fern Whelan, Tony Duggan, all these names who were big names then. Obviously, I was in all of these players. You know, I was a little bit starstruck, but then they become your teammates and also they become your helpers, your teachers in a way. Kept me really grounded, so which was massively important because you can almost lose your way a little bit. You know, I'm training with the first team. When am I going to play? It doesn't work like that. You've got to be patient, and I was patient. I got to play in a qualifying in Champions League, and we got a penalty, and I remember Farrah letting me take it. 15 years old, taking a penalty in the Champions League was just crazy, but again, really fortunate to have all them experiences.
It's like going to school the next day and no one's believing that. You must have been like stepping up like, no one's going to believe it.
Like, I've got school tomorrow. We weren't allowed to go out after or anything like that. Mo Marley was having none of that, but after the game, you're a 15-year-old, get back to the hotel.
Obviously, the game's changed a lot from back then to now. What's like the main things that you've felt in like your journey?
The obvious one is probably the pressure, the attention that you get now. I think we've always wanted that and invited that. Maybe not being so much prepared for that, if that makes sense. So I think the game is getting the attention it deserves and still got a long way to go. But do I think we were maybe as prepared for that as females as maybe the boys are? Probably not. So that's probably something that, educationally wise, that younger players need to learn a little bit more of, you know, what comes with playing now at City or whoever you play for, the pressures that come with it, the demands and the expectations of the way you live your life away from the pitch, and the expectations of wearing a badge and what comes with that. I think that's so important now. That probably wasn't the case when I was a little bit younger, you know. When I was 15, 16, maybe going out with my friends then was fine and I'd get away with that. But now I don't think that's the case, and your lifestyle has to change slightly. I think I was still a professional kid, but probably got away with a little bit more than what you do now.
Back to you though. So you moved from Everton to Notts County.
Yeah.
Your first move. Obviously you said you were there for so long. What was that like? Was it Like, was it a big change, or was it pretty seamless for you?
It was big because I'd known no different to Everton, and Everton was home. In Liverpool, where I'm from, I had my family there. It was easy. I didn't know any different. I was in very much a comfort zone there, and the decision was obviously difficult. I didn't just up and leave and was happy to go. I think at the time the club were going through a massive transition in terms of manager. Players were moving on, and the game was at that point professional. So, and we just got relegated to the Championship. And I knew for myself personally, it wasn't a level I really wanted to go to, and it was quite a big year for England. And I also thought to myself, well, I'll live away from home, which I haven't done before. Mature a little bit and maybe grow up a little bit, and that's a challenge maybe off the pitch that I have to accept to do. And I didn't. It was part of the journey of what I've gone on, and it was something I'm really glad I did.
I feel like naively, you look at your career path and it looks like everything was great, but you were released in your career. Mm-hmm. How did you deal with that setback? I
mean, at the time, did I see it as a setback? No, I seen it as an opportunity. I think you just got to move on. I think I knew I was good enough to go and play somewhere else. I knew I had the ability to, and I knew probably it was the right thing to happen at that moment, because again, the club I was at probably wasn't going in the direction I wanted to go into. And also, you learn so much about yourself. What are you going to do? Are you going to moan about it and cry, or are you going to get on with it, because it happens to everyone? And you learn so much about yourself going through that moment.
Pressure builds diamonds. That's what they say, right?
Right.
Talk to me about when you moved to Lyon, moved to France. I mean, like moves, that's a huge move, right? And then the culture difference, it sort of like blows my mind, right?
Everything you've just said, it was mind-blowing. I think it also happened quite quickly. We just had a World Cup in France. I was on pre-season, and at the time my agent said, listen, this is happening. Are we going? Are we not? And I spoke to family, obviously, and I obviously thought about it, and people were like, you thought about it? Like, how are you thinking about moving to Lyon? But again, like I said, I'd settled back in Manchester. I was captain of the club. I had everything pretty nice. Like, everything was what you'd describe as perfect, pretty much. Like, football on the pitch was good, life off the pitch was good, and then I had to make this big decision to up and leave, and, you know, leave what I knew was normal. But then I said to myself, am I ever going to get this opportunity again to play for, at the time, the biggest women's team in the world right now? And it was probably like, you can't miss this opportunity. And obviously, again, it's that move completely changed me in every way. Off the pitch, on the pitch, I learned different cultures. Obviously, trying to pick up a new language, which is interesting, but just everything about it made me as a person, and it probably changed me a lot in terms of valuing things differently. My family, you know, being away from home a lot. Football experience that I got there was just incredible. The players I got to play with every day, the qualities of leaders over there, and their mentality to win was something I'd never seen before. And I'd probably been in a team full of a lot of winners in what I thought at the time. But their mentality over there was just, when it came to a big game, how they turned it on was just incredible, and I admired that. I took so much from that, and when I came back, I kind of brought that back with me a little bit.
I guess it's people always say like winning's infectious, right? And like I said, there's no better place to do it. When you came back to City, when you moved to City, was that something you were like, right, I'm setting a standard here now, like regardless of what everyone else is doing, I know what I'm doing when I wake up, and everyone sort of joins up with you, right?
Yeah, I suppose so. I think when you come to a team like this, though, and you look at the players that were already here, you probably didn't need to do that so much, because they already had it ingrained in them to win. I came to a team that had won FA Cups, won Conti Cups, won the WSL, and I wasn't coming here going, I've been at Lyon, and by the way, this is how we win. This was a winning team when I was coming into anyways. Hence the reason why coming here was a no-brainer. And I think there was never a doubt in my mind I was coming to this club, and for them reasons, that I've just left a club that was renowned for winning. I'm signing for a club that's renowned for winning and does everything to compete. So it kind of went hand in hand a little bit. What I brought was a different way of thinking, and maybe a different culture way of thinking, more than how to win, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I didn't necessarily bring oomph, if you want to say. I just added a little bit of a piece of the jigsaw.
Talk to you about the moving to City. How did that deal come about?
To City?
Yeah.
I think, well, I knew I was out of contract at Lyon in that summer. And to be honest with you, at the time it was more around Christmas time, and obviously then when you go sign for a team abroad, you can speak earlier. So I kind of had an idea then that I wanted to see the season. I wanted to win the Champions League, and I wanted to come home. Where home was at the time, I didn't know, and I knew City were interested a little bit, so I invested in it. I listened, and I probably kind of made my decision at Christmas, which is probably quite early to do when you haven't played the most important part of the season, which is the back end of cup finals and Champions League and so on. But I knew I was going to make my decision completely at the end of the season. And to be honest with you, the closer it got to the end of the season, I kind of found it harder to do because I was loving my time at Lyon. I made some really good friends there. Again, I probably, by the time the year was up, I'd come out my shell. I was playing really good football in myself. And obviously the winning side of things is, like you said, infectious, and you become addicted to that feeling, and I just didn't want that feeling to go. But when the opportunity for City to come, you don't turn that opportunity down, because I was coming home, I was coming to a club who played the football I loved, the style of play, under a manager who wanted to play the way I enjoy playing football. So again, like I said, sometimes in life opportunities come and you can't turn them down, and this was one of them.
Over 100 appearances for City, signed a new contract 2 years ago. Is this home for you now? Does this feel like you're playing your best football, you're most comfortable?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think even speaking about like teams I've been at, sometimes I forget them things happened because I feel like I've never been anywhere else. I definitely see City as home, and everything about it, the girls, the players, the staff, not just the women's staff, the City itself, the whole group is, we all have one mentality in one direction, and that's to win. And the demand of this football club's so high, and I love being a part of that pressure feeling. I think it's something that, you go home every day and you think about these things, and wake up in the morning with the same feeling I had 4 or 5 years ago when I signed. So that's when you're exactly where you're meant to be.
You're part of the captains group, you're a senior player here. What's it like with the younger girls coming through? Do you feel like a role model for them, or is it everyone's here together, like let's all do our job?
Role model's quite a big word. I think more of like I want to set an example. I want to be a good example for the younger girls. I want them not to be in awe of me, to be able to come and speak to me, I want them to be able to have a conversation, if it's a good one, if it's a bad one, if it's about football, if it's about life. And I try and treat everyone the same, whether you're 100 appearances in or you won. Like, we're here for the same job and we're here for the same outcome. Obviously in different situations your demand for certain people will look differently, but you learn that over time when you get to know people personally and how to get the best out of everyone. And that's just part of being part of a team. I think that just becomes natural.
I feel like every time I scroll social media and there's a build your baller, your left foot always comes in. It's always there. I don't want to inflate your ego too much. Alana Kennedy described you as world class. Talk to me about your relationship, because obviously it's important on the pitch, but I know you're good friends off the pitch as well, right?
She just makes me smile, honestly, when you say her name. Yeah, I love Lauren. She's a really close friend. We've got a fantastic relationship. She's someone I trust massively with everything, and I love her style of play on the pitch. I think we complement each other really well. But she's just a great person. She's got such an unbelievable energy within the group. She brings so much. She doesn't even realise how funny she is sometimes. She could say something that's so serious, but because it's Lawrence and the way she says it, it's just funny. And she's a great person to have in the team, and yeah, such a good player as well.
You've been in Team of the Years, Women's World 11, won the Euros. Is this like span of the last 3-4 years for you like the best of your career?
I think I'm playing the best football of my career for sure. I think that's where I've just said. I feel like where I am is where I'm meant to be. I feel so comfortable here, but not comfortable in such as I've accepted where I am. I don't wake up and go, I can't improve anymore, because if I did that, then I just don't think it'd be where I'm meant to be. I have so much more hunger now than when I signed, because I still want to win trophies and I still want to make this team the best it can possibly be. And that fire in my belly's still there, and on the off season, I can't wait to get back, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see the new players. I'm excited to see the girls who were here last year. I'm sad to see the girls that have gone, and I just want to win. I just want to win, and I want to do it our way, and that's something I pride myself on.
Obviously, you had the best defensive record in the WSL last season, missed out on goal difference. I want to know, one, how much it stings, but also, like, how much is that fuel for the fire for the upcoming season?
Yeah, it stings bad. I think to lose a title on goal differences, especially as a defender, with probably the best record in the league as well, is tough to take. Definitely to come down to so close last 2 games of the season. But I think we have to put that on ourselves. I think we have to look in the mirror first of all before we look at anyone else, and what can you do better as an individual? What could the team do better? I thought we were so good last year in so many ways, but I think it's so exciting that we were that good, but I still think we can be so much better, and that really excites me because, if you ask anyone, I think, everyone says, we play the best style of football, but ultimately it's about winning football matches, and I think no matter what, we do it our way and we'll never change, and I love that about us. So like you said, that just gives me fuel, because this season we're going to try and do it again, and add the Champions League in the mix, which is exciting because that's where everyone wants to play on a European stage.
A few of the players haven't played Champions League football before. How excited are you to one play it again, but also for like them to experience it?
Yeah, it's nothing like Champions League football. Wednesday, Thursday nights, it's I want them to enjoy it because it's not something you get to do every day. Not everyone has them opportunities, and I think people go into football and say, I want to play Champions League football, and of course it's one thing having them ambitions and it's another thing being able to do it. So like I said, we'll speak about it as a group, and coming up against foreign teams looks completely different to what it looks like in the WSL, and we have to be really prepared for that. So I think, we've got enough players and team who've experienced it to help the rest of the group, but absolutely enjoy it, embrace it, because it's the best competition.
What are your ambitions for the coming season, both like as a team and personally for yourself?
I think the easiest thing always to say is we want to win. That we want to win the league. We want to win every competition that we enter. That's our mentality, and that doesn't change no matter what. And that's still the case this season. I think, again, we want to be better than we was last year. Of course, we've signed new players. We've lost a couple of players along the way. We, as a dressing room, we pride ourselves in our dressing room. We've got a fantastic dressing room, and we want to keep that the same way. As a team, again, be better than we was last year, and how that looks is many ways. Score more goals, concede less goals, win trophies. I think that's what everyone's desperate for and hungry for this year. Not just the players, the staff as well. And I can feel that. When I came back in, straight from the beginning, the first thing we spoke about was that, and I love that. I think that's the ambition we set. As me as a person, again, just keep growing as a person. Be someone that the girls can come to, but be the best player I can possibly be on the pitch. And I'm still, again, nowhere near the complete player, and I want to learn every single day like everyone else does, and I take as much information off guys and the staff as I can, because I still think I can go to so many levels.
You spoke about the dressing room culture there. Like, just give us, like, as if we're flying the wall, what's it like? If you're a new player coming in, how do you like welcome them, bed them in, sort of thing?
We are a really welcoming team. I think so anyway. You might have to ask one of the new players, they might say something different. I just think we're such a great group of girls. I think, obviously we've got players who've come from different countries, so we're aware how hard it is to adapt, and it's not as easy as just, landing in the dressing room. You've moved from abroad and, off you go. It's crack on it. It's not that easy. It's hard to move from a foreign country to come to England, or, you've lived at home all of your life, and then, okay, now you're in Manchester. We have to help them players, feel like themselves here. That's the most important thing, to be themselves, because if we get the true person, then we get the best player on the pitch, which goes hand in hand. So first of all, that's the biggest thing to do, and then, once the players relax and they come out of their shell a little bit, just, bring your personality to the team and no one can say anything wrong. Everyone's got their own opinions on things, and we want people to share that and feel that they're valued in our team, and that's something that's so important to this group.
A lot of new players have come in this season. Do you reckon you're the most excited you've been going into a new season? Obviously, you were so close last year, and it's like revenge season, right? Like, we're really you're out as the Avengers, surely.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I think every year I come back, I'm excited because the objective is always the same. Again, like you said, we've signed some really exciting players this season. So again, I am so excited to see what this team can do. And just being back a couple of weeks, I think we've still got so many players to come back from the Olympics, which we add even more quality to the quality that we've got. So I am excited because the group's talented and it's hungry and it wants to win. So how can you not be excited by that?
Let's talk your England career. You've been part of the England setup for a long time.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this is the best time to be an England player for you guys?
Oh, absolutely. I think to play for England, well, that's, 15, 17, 19, 23, seniors, whatever that is. I think if I'm a England under 16 and I'm looking at seniors and I'm going, I want to do everything I can to be there, be a part of that, because that's exciting. We're winners now. I think our mentality's massively shifted since, the Euro win, obviously, but I think it was coming anyway. We needed something to help us along the way. Serena's done that. I think to play for England now comes with a lot of pressure, comes with a lot of big expectations, but like I said earlier, I think we've wanted that for a long time, and whatever comes our way, whether it's positive or negative, we have to embrace it and use it as fuel and excitement for what's to come. There's the Euros next year. We've qualified. We have a year to prepare for the Euros, and I mean, if you're playing for England, how exciting is that?
Please get as nerdy as possible, but I want to know about your shift from left back to centre back. And honestly, don't worry, I love this, but how was that for you, and what was the process in it?
Yeah, we're going tactical, technical.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, obviously it looks very different, and it looks different depending on what team you play for, right? So the type of fullback you'd have at a certain club looks completely different to what our fullback would look like, the same as the centre-back and so on. So I think straight away the obvious answer is Gaz, and the way he wants to play, his style of play. I signed here as a left-back. There's no hiding that. I played centre-back fair bit towards the end at Lyon, but in a very different way. Their style of play was so different to ours, and you adapt your game to the team you play for, but you always go back to what you're good at. And I think for me as a player, I love keeping the ball. I love trying to make things difficult for the opposition, make them think what I'm going to do rather than what they're going to do, and mind games and all them things that come with playing. But the small details and bigger picture to what we do. It's not just, we don't just do it for the sake of doing it, we do it with a purpose, and that's a big thing for me. I think, when teams watch us and say, "Oh, you play lovely football," it is lovely, but it takes so much time and detail and attention to get it like that. It's not always going to be perfect, but it works, and it works because of the players we've got, our style of play. And for me personally, as a centre back, I think I love defending. I love being central of the pitch, and I like dictating the play. I like being able to move the pieces, if that makes sense. And sometimes it might be that you sacrifice what you do on that day and someone else does that, and that's absolutely fine. But it's just a game of cat and mouse, and I love that. What you're going to do today, and how we're going to adapt what I do or we do to make you struggle.
Alex, thank you very much. Now, it's the start of a new season, so we would like you to ask a question for our next guest. Any question you like.
Oh, wow. That's a big one.
I've switched on and hit you with an Una reverse, right?
Yeah, question. What we like, football question or...
Football question? Well, if you want it to be a football question, you can do that.
Oh, no, should we do different questions to the football?
Yeah.
Something a bit more...
Love that.
Who's the next guest going to be? I'm not allowed to know.
I don't know.
Did I get a question off there, last person?
It's the start of the new season, so we're...
Oh, we're starting from fresh. Oh, right, come on, you have to help me out here.
What do you want to know? What are you into?
What am I into?
Yeah, but because people often want to know what, like, so if I'm watching like a new series, I want to know what people are watching. But if you're like, you know, like if you're big into coffee, you might want to know what someone's drinking. Or
Oh God, I know this team inside. I don't know what they all drink. I do. I know what coffee order for everyone in that team. Oh God, series is boring, isn't
series
it?
is boring. Maybe what position did you play growing up? What was your first football position or something like that? Because like people change. Like you go from being a striker and you might
come
end up
on,
a
let's
left
go with
back
that
or-
one.
I mean, it's not my question.
No, I like that one though. But
Please,
I'm back to
answer.
football, haven't we? It's typical me, really, isn't it? Alex goes back to football all the time. Yeah, go on. What position did you go when you were a kid? And how did you end up going further back?
Oh, thank
I
you
started
so
up
much.
there and finished back there.
Oh, it's a set piece of show, right? You can know where the goal is.
The unbeatable official Manchester City podcast. Watch the full video version of this show via City Plus now.